Hi guys, it's Stock Curry, and while it's going to be a quiet week economic news-wise, we do have some very important earnings that are coming out this week. So in today's video, I'm going to explain what earnings you need to watch out for that could move the markets this week. So let's get into it! Alright, while we don't have any major economic news, we do have some real estate news coming out this week that could affect the markets, especially real estate stocks. On Tuesday, we have the housing starts report. In February, this rose more than expected, but economists expect that housing starts will fall by 2.2% in March. Then on Wednesday, we have U.S. existing home sales. Now in February, those decreased by 7.2%, but economists expect that they actually only fell by 3.7% in March. Now, these two things are going to be real important for the housing market because mortgage rates have been rising up. And as mortgage rates rise, it makes it more difficult to afford homes, especially on the lower end of homes. So people may not be able to afford all these new houses and all the houses that are up for sale. So it's going to be interesting to see the economic data for March to see how the rising mortgage rates have affected the housing market. If the rising mortgage rates affected the housing market worse than expected, then we can expect a much faster decline in the housing market than we're currently on track for. So this could be really bad for the housing market, and of course, the housing market will eventually trigger over and hit the stock market eventually. Right now in the housing market, we're kind of in that period where we were in 2006, where mortgages were starting to dry up, but it hadn't really hit the housing market or the stock market yet. That didn't really start happening until 2007 in the housing market, and then 2008 in the stock market. So we're still very, very early in this breaking of the bubble, if you will, and we're at that point where the mortgages are just starting to dry up, so we're at the very beginnings of the housing bubble bursting. All right, now onto the stock market, and let's take a look at some of the earnings that are coming out this week, because we have some big ones. First of all, Monday before the market opens, we've got more bank stocks reporting, including Bank of America, Charles Schwab, and BNY Mellon. Now, this is actually really big because the bank stocks last week did not do that well. In fact, most of the bank stocks dropped after earnings. Now, the reason this is so important is because the markets are mostly going to be moved based upon earnings this week. However, we cannot ignore the technicals. And if we take a look at the technicals, I'll go ahead and use the NASDAQ here, or the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100 ETF. We can see that on Friday, it closed right at the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement level. Now, if the bank earnings Monday morning are bad and we see the markets go down again on Monday, that means we're going to end up below the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement level. Once we do that, we pretty much have confirmed bearishness all the way down to the 0% Fibonacci retracement level. And by the way, the 0% Fibonacci retracement level are the bottoms that we hit in February. So right now, if the bank earnings coming out Monday morning are bad, then we could see the markets fall back down to those February lows. So right now, the markets look extremely bearish just based upon what happened last week with banking stocks. So I would not be surprised to see the markets fall down to the February lows this week. The futures are also currently pricing this in, with the NASDAQ futures down 1%. I'm not really sure how the market's going to open, but right now it looks like future traders probably have this right. All right, the next big earnings that we have are going to be Tuesday before the open, where we start getting into some of the defense stocks such as Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, and we start getting a little bit of insight as to how the U.S. defense stocks or war stocks are performing. Now, the U.S. defense stocks or war stocks ran up massively with the war in Ukraine. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were more profitable. We're going to find out when earnings are released Tuesday morning if those defense stocks actually were as profitable as people think they were. Now, if they aren't, if they miss, we could see those defense stocks drop significantly after earnings. So if you're holding defense stocks, you might want to consider taking profits Monday if you're risk adverse and you don't want to hold through earnings. Now, Tuesday after the close, we have a big one, and that is Netflix. The last time Netflix reported earnings, the stock dropped 22%. It has then been in a falling knife ever since they reported earnings 3 months ago. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Netflix revenue has continued to decline or if they've somehow managed to turn things around and start increasing revenues once again. Now, Wednesday before the open, we start getting into our healthcare stocks, such as Procter & Gamble, Abbott, Anthem, and a bunch of others. This is going to be another sector that's very interesting to look at because healthcare stocks have been running up due to the pandemic. And again, the question is going to be, have they been able to produce the profits to meet their high share prices? If they have not been able to meet those profit expectations, you could see our healthcare stocks drop significantly. So watch out for these healthcare stocks Wednesday before the open. Then Wednesday after the close, we have another big one, and that is Tesla. Now, Tesla is important because Tesla is such a massive stock that it makes up the large percent of both the S&P as well as the NASDAQ. So depending upon what happens to Tesla after earnings, you could see the Tesla stock either rise or fall significantly. And if that happens, that's going to cause the entire stock market to rise or fall significantly. So Tesla earnings Wednesday after the close are going to be a big one to watch out for. They will definitely move the markets on Thursday. Now, also Wednesday after the close, we have United, and Thursday before the open, we have American Airlines. This is going to give us our first look into our travel stocks. We all know that tons of people have been traveling, tons of people have been on airlines. The airline stocks have been running up. However, we also have these super high fuel charges. The question is going to be, has inflation caused the airlines to lose money? If inflation is exceeding the extra amount of money that people are making from ticket sales, then we could see airline stocks drop even though the number of travelers is up. This is all going to be about inflation, so we'll have to see how inflation has affected the airline stocks both Wednesday after the close and Thursday before the open. Then finally, we finish out the week with a few other ones, such as Snap, Cleveland Cliffs, Verizon. Not a lot of retail investors invest in these stocks, but some people do, so just keep your eye out on those if you are an investor in those stocks. All right, I want to thank you for joining me. We just had our Easter Sunday, and it was a great day to celebrate the resurrection of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And it was just amazing because it's all about the story of Jesus dying on the cross and then on the third day raising again, leaving an empty tomb. And it's a story of both redemption as well as salvation. Redemption to belong to Jesus Christ and a salvation to enter into heaven. And for a lot of us, we need a redemption in our portfolios. Our portfolios are dead and we need them to be made alive again. We need salvation in our portfolios. We need to be saved from these losses that we're incurring. Last week in the $1 Million Challenge portfolio, we made a 40% profit. If you need your portfolio resurrected, if you need salvation in your portfolio, I'd like to help you out with that. I have an entire coaching program where I coach you and help you and show you how to make money in the stock market even when the market's going down. So I'd love to have you come join the coaching program where I can help teach you how to trade options, including multi-leg options, how to manage your risk, how to do technical analysis with the Fibonacci retracements and everything we talk about on this channel. It's an entire coaching program. We do weekly coaching sessions as well as having both myself and other coaches available 24/7 to answer your questions. So please come join us in the coaching program so that you can get help in your portfolio if you want it. If you are interested in that, you can sign up at stockcurry.vip/coaching. That's stockcurry.vip/coaching. All right, guys, I hope you have a lot of success trading. I wanted to let you know that I do have a conference coming up at the end of this week, so I will only be producing videos on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. There will be no video on Thursday or Friday. So it will be a shortened week for me. However, the markets are open the full week. I just have to go to a conference. That said, I will be back with you next week for the full week, but for this week, just 3 short videos. All right, guys, I hope you have a lot of success trading. Before you head on out, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and click the bell icon and click all so that you can get notified when I release my next video. And go ahead and hit the like button also. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you tomorrow.